Engine. Both the Spitfire and the Hurricane had the same Merlin engine, which was improved and upgraded throughout the war. The same Rolls-Royce Merlin engine was also used in the four-engine Lancaster bomber, the twin-engine de Havilland Mosquito, and the British-built Mustang, amongst others. Wings. The most important difference is the shape of the wing. The Spitfire has an elliptical wing. Comparison of wings between the Spitfire and Hurricane. The Spitfire also has a much narrower wing than the Hurricane. This makes the Spitfire faster and more manoeuvrable than the Hurricane. The narrow wing made the Spitfire difficult, slower, and more expensive to build. The Hurricane was more stable and easier to fly. Cost of manufacture. In 1939, Hurricanes cost £4,000 to build. A Spitfire cost more than 3 times as much at £12,600. Canopies. The most obvious difference are the canopies. The Spitfire has the famous acrylic bubble canopy for a better all-round view. The Hurricane has a square-framed canopy which slides rearwards and can be opened in flight. Fuselage. The Hurricane has a 3 foot 2 inch wider wingspan and is 2 foot 4 inches longer. The Spitfire is all metal, aluminium. The Hurricane has fabric from the cockpit backwards and has a wider tail fin. Armament. Spitfire. Although there were other configurations, the Spitfire was armed with 8 .303 Browning Mark II machine guns. Armament. Hurricane. While there were other arrangements, the Hurricane was armed with 4 20mm Hispano Mark II cannon. There were fewer guns, but they packed more punch. Later in the war, Spitfires were also armed with 20mm Hispano Mark II cannon. Performance. The performance of these aircraft increased as more powerful engines were developed. Spitfire 370 miles per hour, Hurricane 320 miles per hour. Service ceiling. Various figures are given for the altitude service ceiling of the Spitfire and Hurricane. Anything higher was impractical as their cabins weren't heated or pressurized. Spitfire service ceiling up to 40,000 feet. Hurricane service ceiling 36,000 feet. The Hurricane, being slower than the Spitfire and heavily armed, would usually attack the enemy bombers. The Spitfire, being faster and more manoeuvrable, would go after the escorting fighters, such as this Bf-109. Almost twice as many Hurricanes fought in the Battle of Britain than Spitfires. 527 Hurricanes and 321 Spitfires. The Hurricane, robust, reliable, cheap to produce, heavily armed, fabric from the cockpit back, twice as many as Spitfires during the Battle of Britain. The Spitfire, famous bubble canopy and elliptical wing, all metal construction, a match for enemy fighters. Thank you for watching. Please press the subscribe button to see our full range of videos and be notified of new releases. It's free.